So, hello, and happy Saturday. We are here. This is our first ever live. This is our first ever episode of my brand new vlog and podcast. And it is going to be called, or it is called, you're on it if you're here. It is Magic Marketing and Mindset with Melissa. So, me, Melissa. And today is an exciting day for me, but it's also an exciting topic. And so, I want to start this by saying, up until a few months ago, many of you who are here are just like, where has she been? Right? Sonique is like, hello, where have you been? And up until a few months ago, I was here. I was a badass coach. I still am a badass coach, but I was a visible badass coach. I was killing it, doing presentation after presentation, event after event with Teachable. Um, I led a client to 10K weekends. We traveled to Tulum. I went to Hawaii with a healing journey for my mom. I had a 40K weekend. I was on a roll, and it was the setup for what was supposed to be my $1 million year, right? So I was burning and churning. I am a multi passionate entrepreneur and a manifesting generator. So if you know human design, we are people who can do a million things. They call us time benders. And today I have zero energy, zero energy to work on the product that makes me the absolute most money ever. Those 40K weekends not happening because I'm not happening in this space. And it's not because I don't love to do what I do. I freaking love it. It's not because I'm burnt out. I'm not actually burnt out. It's not because I need to rest. It is because this is a moment for me to take what we will call a natural pause. It's a moment when it's actually time to evolve. And unfortunately, we don't talk about the pauses in business. We don't talk about the moments where we actually need to take a break because they don't tend to feel good and because they come with a lot of pressure. This pressure comes in the form of supportive pressure, right? Our coaches are people who are there to keep us going, telling us, like, hey, I know you've got a plan, you've got this thing working, keep pushing through. They come from pressure from your clients. Hey, I know I just expired, but I can't wait to renew. Where are we going next, right? They come from pressure for your family. Hey, you had an income. Where is it now? And today we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about these moments where we're stuck. We are going to reframe being stuck. I'm going to share with you my top 3 tips for finding momentum again when you are stuck. And I have a simple 7-step organizational system, which you can kind of see behind me. So I guess if you want to just peek and run, you got it there, but I want to talk you through it. And you're going to be able to use this to take it day by day in the moments where you are losing or have lost a little bit of that momentum. But first, I want to introduce myself because it has been so long since I have been live. We are streaming live on YouTube. We are streaming live on Facebook. In the future, I hope to be on LinkedIn. And I am also live on Instagram. Now, for my Instagram friends, we are primarily live on YouTube and Facebook, so I won't be staring you in the face like I would love to. And man, I wish I had the Instagram filter on this YouTube right now, not gonna lie. Hi Bees, hi Gina, hi Essentially Prudent, hi Sonique. But I'm here, I'm filming the podcast, so I'm not always gonna be looking at you on Instagram. Likely I'll be looking at YouTube, but you're going to get all the beautiful content. And I wanted to make sure I went live on Instagram because I know that people listen on Instagram. And so, again, we're going to do a couple of things today. We're going to reframe being stuck. I'm going to be sharing some tips. I'm going to be sharing my organization strategy. But first, I do want to introduce myself because it's been a while. My name is Melissa. So Melissa, I'm going to give you an American pronunciation for that. My dad is Haitian, so my name is French. My mom is Jamaican. So proud of my lineage. So I'm asking that everyone try to say my name but my American version of it, just say May, May, like the month I am born in, and that'll give you Melissa. It's like saying Melissa with like a Texas twang, and that's where I'm based. I'm here in Round Rock, Texas, just north of Austin, Texas. And I am an ex corporate marketer. So I spent a good decade, just about a decade, in corporate marketing before starting on my own as a multi passionate entrepreneur. I have several brands. So I have a dance company. We're currently selling dance tutorials all over the world. But we have a community of about 250 people that dance with us in Austin, and that is Afro dance as well as dancehall dance. I have a hair flower accessories company. I don't force myself to wear flowers every day anymore, but sometimes I love it. Sometimes I need a break. But I have that company. It's called Camellias and Curls. I absolutely love making flowers and adorning people's hair with these flowers. I've recently jumped into crystal healing and a crystal business that I have not told anyone about yet. So y'all will be the first to hear it. It's called woofulness, like mindfulness, but woo woo. We are reclaiming that word woo woo. I absolutely love it. And feel like I'm missing one. Oh, yes, Club Workflow. So, my main community, business coaching. And that's the one I'm feeling a little stuck in right now. And so, that's me. I absolutely love what I do. I primarily try to work with other multi passionates like me. Right now, I'm on a huge healing journey myself. I've deep dove into human design. If you don't know what that is, message me, DM me, and I will tell you way too much about it. I'm also getting into Qigong, energy healing, uh, going deeper in what has been a decade long yoga practice for me, actually 13 years. We checked on that today. It's been 13 years since I've been practicing yoga and just doing a lot of personal energy work, shadow work, really getting us to a place where I can exist well in this new paradigm and where I can help my clients find ways to build businesses they love, but also build lives that they love. So, with that, when is it time to take it day by day? So for me, when is it time to take it day by day? It is when you know all the things that you need to do. You've planned it. You know all the steps, but you can't seem to actually take a step forward. Meaning, I'm happy with what I'm planning to do. I'm happy with the steps I plan to take, but I can't get that momentum anymore. It's when, simply put, you know you are overwhelmed, right? That may look differently for different people, but for me, that is when, okay, I know I'm overwhelmed. Okay. It's when you have, and I love it. Gina just posted, Yay, human design. If you're familiar with human design, I'm someone who's activated by my sacral, right? So when my sacral says yes, when I have a gut feeling that says yes, when my intuition says yes, and I feel really good about where I'm going, and I know this is where I want to go, but I can't go there right now, that's when I know it's time to take a pause. It's time to take it day by day. It's time to change my strategy until I get momentum. It doesn't mean that it's time to quit. It doesn't mean that it's time to stop. It just means that I need a moment and I need a moment maybe to process. And the more I try to force myself to do that, the more I risk moving in a direction that's not actually true to how my body feels and to potentially missing out on what the universe, whatever you want to call it, source, God, what messages are being given to me. So yesterday, I think it was yesterday or even the day before yesterday, I was trying to resist pausing. Let me be real. I was trying to put myself in front of a very intelligent person, another coach, and have this person say to me, you need to get yourself in order and just start moving forward. Partly because I have been on a pause for several months now. In those months, so many amazing things have happened. I've helped my husband transition his career and renegotiate his salary to the tune of a lot of money. I promised, I told him, you better not share your income, so I won't either. But the increase is real. Okay. That was something that took 3 weeks of me being present. I would have never been able to do that. I've helped my mom, right? She's on a whole healing journey. She's moved in with me. We've had time to do that and enjoy that together, right? I've taken steps in my personal life that would have never been possible without the pause. But now the things are starting to move. I'm like, okay, let me make some income. I'm someone who makes money. What am I doing? Right. And I went to this coach with the goal of her saying, get yourself in gear. And mind you, I already have a coach that I pay a lot of money who was saying that. But I said, let me go to someone who I know really gets it and talk to this person. And before she had a moment to talk to me, she said two things. She said, all the answers are around us. This resonated so deeply with me in so many ways, right? All the answers are around us. As I've been going on this healing and learning journeys, crazy things have happened. I found that the most amazing resource in an Instagram post I had reposted. I was like, oh, I wonder who that was from. Let me see if they have pretty images again. Bam, exactly what I needed, right? Sometimes the answer is in a coffee mug. That's what she said. And I was like, oh, yes, all the answers are around us. But the second thing she said is what got me. Make sure you are moving. And again, these are not her exact words. I am paraphrasing. This beautiful queen is Allison Bird. She said, make sure your cadence allows you to see the messages that are in front of you. Make sure your cadence actually allows you to see these messages. If you're moving too fast, you're not going to see them. But also, if you're not taking action, if you're moving too slow, you may not see them either, right? And what's fun is, she said those things, and I was like, yes, I feel like I'm moving at a cadence that allows me to see the messages in front of me. So now we're at 2 checkpoints, right? Is this something that is a yes for you? Is your intuition saying you need to do this? Yes. You don't need to quit. Yes. Is this a line for you? Yes. Are you moving at a cadence that may not feel comfortable with you, but where things in your life, you're getting the answers? Yes, right? I'm doing all the things, everything's working. But despite that, it doesn't feel comfortable, right? Because I'm the moneymaker, right? Because I've cast myself, like my ego wants to tell me that it is time to do the things you said you can do, especially since you teach people, right? There's a little bit of a pressure there, right? I found a natural pause. I took advantage of it. But how long are you going to pause for? That's what my head kept saying, right? And she said, it's time to surrender. And I said, I know you're right. I just didn't want to hear it. But for some of us, surrender doesn't mean sit still. So I want to say that surrender means surrender to the timeline, surrender to the messages that you are receiving. And for me, I know it doesn't mean sit still because coming back to human design, I am a manifesting generator. I am a multi-passion entrepreneur. It's part of me. And when I sit too still, I don't feel happy. I don't burn off my energy. I don't get the messages that I'm supposed to receive. Sitting still is not part of me. I'm built to be busy. That is not true for everyone. But I needed to surrender and release the need to launch that thing, to bring it back, to fulfill everybody else's desire for it to be here right now, and to fulfill my ego's desire for it to be here right now. I needed to release that need, surrender the timeline, and frankly, even surrender the grand plan that I had. Now, I always have detailed plans because I'm a specific manifestor. I'm someone who has detailed plans. Not everybody's wired like that, right? And so when you can't do what you know makes you money now, what do you do? And the fun thing is, I would say, look at your other talents. And this is where having and designing a business that is set up for success for you, right? Some of us are I stick to one thing, I do the one thing, right? For me, I have multiple things so I can pick things up and put things down, right? So for me, doing something else was the answer. And doing something else may be the answer for you too. And it may just be temporary. It may not even take as long as you think it will to reset you and to get you going again. But you may need to do another thing for a minute. And you may also feel resistance to this thing that you need to go do. I had so much resistance, right? I didn't want to let people down, right? People who wanted to keep working with me, right? I didn't want to feel like I wasn't a finisher, right? Leaving things unfinished has such a bad connotation in our society. I wanted to make sure I wasn't falling into shiny object syndrome or being an unfocused multi-passionate like all the things say. I didn't want to be the jack of all trades, right? Master of none. Although that quote ends with is sometimes better than a master of one, right? I didn't want to feel like that. But all of that comes back to me not wanting to be judged. Me not wanting to be judged by my peers, by my family, by my customers for taking a break. And that sounds crazy, right? Or for not doing the thing that is common sense. You're selling a product that people are buying for $10,000, for $24,000. What are you thinking? This is common sense. Maybe just do a couple and keep it moving. This is common sense. This has been told to me multiple times. Like, I just don't get her. She spent the time, she built the thing, she validated the thing. She has people who love the thing, they want the thing. She's got people on wait lists for the thing. What is she doing? Why isn't she just doing the thing? Okay, she's not money motivated, but it's related to her purpose. She loves it. She's so happy every time she does it. So when the common sense solution doesn't feel good to you, right? And you've got to figure out what feeling good even means for you. That's an interesting question. And again, there's answers to that. And I love human design for that. And so I'm plugging it in here because you're going to see me talk about it more and more. Right. But feeling good to me personally, and this is not true for everyone. So please don't take me as the framework. Feeling good to me feels like a yes, 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 yes. And if it's not a yes, 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 it's a no, because there's too many things that are like, yeah, that sounds kind of good. Yeah, that sounds kind of good. Doesn't pass the test. It's a yes, 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 no, no, no. For some people, you don't have that. It's an emotional wave. For others, it's just a slight like, ooh, yes, right? Some people's an 80%. So don't take my yes. You've got to figure out your yes. But when it is a yes, but it's not a yes right now, and that's the differentiation. When common sense still don't make sense to you, when the 12-week plan, I work on 12-week plans, or the 4-week plan, or the 3-week plan, or the 2-week plan feels overwhelming, but you still need to take action, right? This is kind of where we're at. And this is where I've been at. Unfortunately, I was also still trying to force myself to come into this at a timeline that makes sense. Why? Because I still run on money. And because I've taken on recently, this is personal, more and more things that cost even more money. So, wait, what? You're taking on more expenses and you're also pausing your business? That sounds crazy. But it was the right thing for my family at the moment. But it's a risk, right? So, oh my gosh, I'm taking this risk. What am I doing? This is the worst time, right? But we don't get to plan the time to pause. That's not in our hands. And so, for me, again, taking action for many people will probably and possibly lead you back to that energy, lead you back to that momentum. And it doesn't have to be taking energy in the right or taking action in the right direction. It may be in a completely opposite direction. For me personally, as a manifesting generator, I have found that small actions, taking small actions in any direction, or in the direction approximately or something tangentially related to the thing that I'm doing will usually get me back to feeling my body and will give my body something to respond to so that it can guide me where to go next. This could be something as simple as studying the thing that you're working on or going to an event or meeting people. Maybe it's completely changing your environment, going on a trip. Changing my environment works as well. Maybe it's crafting, doing something with my hands. So figure out your thing, but do take some actions. My one piece I would say is don't deep dive into the action that you're taking if you know you're coming back to something at some point in time. Take a small action, get in touch with your body, and get back to the source of the answer. And so now, story time is over, my loves. I'm going to get really specific, right? I want to get really specific. So, what is the specific advice, right? Number one, lean into what does feel right, even if it isn't in the right direction. So, this is you. You've lost momentum. You know you need to do the thing and you want to do the thing, but you can't do it right now. We haven't found the energy right now. We can't commit to it right now. Lean into whatever does feel right. Right. So, one, we've got to talk to our bodies and say, does this feel right to me? And then lean into it, even if it doesn't feel like it's the right direction. Number two, let it be simple. Let it be simple. Let it be simple. Let it be simple. Don't dive into complications or overcommit to whatever you're leaning into, because that's probably what got you here in the first place, right? Ignore the naysayer saying, "Oh, this is easy for me," or I should do it at this level or at this standard. Let it be simple. So find something that feels right, even if it's not in the right direction. Number two, let that thing be simple, right? And then finally, find a simple organization framework that keeps you focused on the present moment, one day at a time, one step at a time, right? So find a simple organization framework. Now, simple is an interesting word because simple is a little different for all of us. So you're going to have to learn what your simple truly is. Okay. And today I'm going to share with you my simple framework that I've been using to take steps in the right direction. What I love about it is I use it for my entire life. So not everything on here, this is my list, is a business list. It is my full list. And so I love sevens. Seven is my lucky number. So this is a 7-step to-do list essentially. So you can see it for this week, and I have it on my board back here. But our first S, they're all S's, is schedule. What do I need to schedule? Quite simply put, like, what do I need to put on my schedule? I have this here because sometimes when we're stuck, we forget to schedule our most basic things. And that can totally turn into a spiral. It can get us to a place where we're not taking care of ourselves, where we're getting depressed, or where we're not saying yes to things that could get us our momentum back. So, what do I need to schedule? I have things like scheduling our meal plan, doing some meal planning with mom, scheduling our fitness activities that we're going to commit to, scheduling a couple meetings that I said yes to, right? Those meetings could be really inspirational, maybe the thing that gets me back going on my momentum. The second one is your systems. I call it systems or setup. I haven't decided what's going to be the final. You guys are hearing it here first on the podcast. So thank you for being here. But your systems, step two, systems. What systems do you need to work on? What I love about this S is that even if you don't have the momentum to get out there and be public about what you're doing, there may be some back-end systems you need to clean up, some evergreen funnels you need to build, some welcome emails you need to do. And you can be working in the background on your system so that when your body is ready to launch again and be seen again and be out there again, you're also ready, right? You just want to kind of take some steps. Now, what you may say is, I'm not even ready to touch that. That's cool. We have systems, we have things we need to set up in life, period. Um, For me, I'm setting up a simple VIP. I'm calling it Club Workflow VIP. Typically, I'm out there, I'm selling Club Workflow. We're getting the members right now. I have a small amount of members who have continued on with me, and I'm inviting my previous customers back. DM me though if you're like, I really need this, but we're gonna create a very focused VIP group. Why? Because I'm not trying to go out there right now and make it a whole big thing. I don't have the energy for it. I have physical energy, but I'm just not there yet. And I'll tell you why. Because we're evolving the program. And when you're evolving, you may need to pause, right? So, right now, systems, right? So, what are the systems maybe I can do for the thing that I know I'm coming back to, or completely different? Any systems, any setup. Number three, what am I selling? And again, if you're on a complete pause, you may not be selling anything, but maybe you're selling little things. Another beautiful thing I heard yesterday was about how we sometimes fail to recognize the beauty and the pleasure and the results that we're getting because we want it to come at such a large magnitude so that we can recognize it. We want to be able to be like, yeah, I just made a boatload of money, right? And so sometimes we make little monies, we ignore them. Like I just made $2 here, or even $200 here. Like yesterday, we sold one of my tutorials, $300. Back in the day, every time I made $1, money bell, I was crazy, money bell. It didn't matter, $2, $1, and I still appreciate every dollar. But the reality is, when you feel like you should be making thousands of dollars on a sale, sometimes you don't appreciate the $200 or the $100 as much as you like to. And sometimes we forget that math exists and all of these little things add up. And so, for me, I like to say, if you're out here, what are you selling? What are you selling today? And it may not be the normal thing you're selling. This may be the moment where, hey, typically, and I use this, you don't have to sell anything, but if you need to make money, then selling would be a great way. But this could be something simple. So, what you'll see as I show you, and I'm going to keep it behind the scenes, you'll see that I'm now going to be offering crystal readings, human design discovery, little things I wouldn't do in the past because I don't have the time to do all those things when I'm managing my bigger group program. And those things will likely go away when I come back, right? But for now, they're little monies, and those little monies can add up to big results. And so, what am I selling, right? I'm actually going to be making some beautiful crystal jewelry. So that's what's on that list. I'll show you some beads here. Sorry, it's probably a lot of noise, but these are some beautiful sunstone beads. So that's what are you selling? Number four, and again, this is our 7S framework, just simple 7 set of things to think through to help you make your daily to-do list. What are you sending? What are you sending? Are you going to send any emails? Right? What are you sharing? Right? This could be like social media, statements, right? Sometimes we like to forget about billing, especially when we're not in a mode, right? Who needs a statement today? And finally, study, right? What are we studying? What are we looking at? You don't need something in all of these columns. Keep it simple. For me, this is simple. Why? Because my business is complex and I have a lot of moving parts. And so having these S's helps me make sure I'm keeping things afloat, even when I'm on pause. So I love this. When I'm not in a mode where I can readily make a 4-week plan, a 12-week plan without being overwhelmed, I come back to these S's. So again, the first S is schedule, right? What do we need to schedule? What do we need to get on the calendar? This is a perfect weekly piece, but like when you're really overwhelmed, just daily, right? Is there anything I need to get on the schedule today? Number two, are there any systems that I need to be working on, things I need to set up? Number three, what am I selling? Am I selling something? Number four, what do I need to send? What do I need to send? What do I need to get out there? Right? That could be an email. That could be a package to a client, right? What do I need to share? What's going on social media? Am I doing a live? How is that working? What statements need to go out? Who needs to pay me some money? And finally, what am I studying? The beautiful thing about these is you can use this constantly for your planning. You don't have to use it when you're stuck, but when you're stuck, it is so simple that it you can just sit here, go through your sevens. Even if you have one thing in one column, you're good. Now, mind you, if you get to a point where you got more than three things in one area, look at it and just be like, this might be a lot. Okay. So be um like, keep it simple. Let it be simple. Let it be simple for you. So that is it. This is it. This is our first ever podcast slash vlog. I say that because we are going to be live streaming this on YouTube, Facebook, and then using that same audio for the vlog of magic, marketing, and mindset with Melissa. I'm so excited to be coming to you in this way. I will keep doing these. I'm also live streaming on Insta. Y'all won't see my face, but you're going to see my beautiful side profile and whatever earrings I'm wearing, and my orange bike, but and a beautiful filter that makes me look lovely. But yes, this is our first episode. Oh, Sanique says congratulations. Happy I was here. I am so happy you were here for my first episode. You made my day, my love. And so we're going to be doing this at least weekly. But we're going to keep doing this. So probably more than weekly, but at least weekly, I will commit to that. So as soon as we get that all up on all the podcast places, you'll be able to listen to it in your car in an easier way. Um, and then a two more things. I promised I would pull a card and a stone. So totally forgot that. I want to make sure we infuse a little bit of magic into everything that we're doing. And I think, magic is defined in so many ways, but I have a huge connection to crystals, and this is the crystal of the day. So this is a beautiful lapis, lapis lazuli. Lapis is a stone of truth. So I like to work with this stone. When I say work with a stone or crystal, I personally like to sleep with them, meditate on them, and just take time to really think about what the crystal is about, what the meaning is about, and how that helps me reflect on my life. So lapis in general is the stone of truth. This particular piece of lapis actually comes from Afghanistan, which has quite a bit of the stores of lapis. So this one, I'm going to call it a vintage piece now. I think it's going to get harder and harder to find fair trade, ethically sourced lapis. So if you want to get your stuff, I would get it now. And I'm going to actually read a little bit to y'all from one of my favorite sites for getting deep dives on stones. It's called Crystal Vaults. They have a crystal encyclopedia. And so lapis, they call it one of the most sought after stones in man's history. There's a lot of royalty that used lapis. So lapis is royal. Royal blue, I think, comes from the color, and it was one of the most highly prized stones in Egypt. So King Tutankhamun, his whole sarcophage is lined with lapis. Okay, and so it is where cobalt blue comes from. It is the natural cobalt blue. So I absolutely love this. But it is an excellent stone for executives, journalists, psychologists, anyone who wants like good judgment. So the list goes on and on of whoever needs that. But it is supposed to be a stone that helps you enhance your intellectual ability. It is the stone of truth, honesty of spirit, spoken and written word. It is a great stone for anyone who needs to work on deep communication. They also say that it's a stone of friendship and brings harmony to relationships. And it's a stone they recommend for temperamental teenagers. Um, it's also supposed to help you balance any spiritual issues. And there's all sorts of details on where, like, each stone has physical benefits. I won't speak to those personally, but you can go ahead and read on those. Like I said, I like to use my crystals for meditation, for deep dives into what I need to work on. When I worked with this stone, it happens to be one of my favorites. This one is new. I got this in Tucson because I'm going to be starting to sell some lapis and other stones via Woofulness. And we have a beautiful collection. So hit me up. It hasn't been posted yet, but hit me up. This one's going to be mine, but I have several more pieces. So if you need some, hit me up. But when I worked with Lapis was when I really started discovering my truth. And that sounds weird. And I'll give you the story. Just, after about a week of meditating with Lapis, I realized that despite being a marketer and a badass marketer in corporate for many, many years, when I jumped into the digital space, it was like I had forgotten everything I knew. And I was trying to emulate people who had done really well in digital and that I'd hired for coaching. And I believe in coaching. So I paid like $20,000 for this coach. It's a lot of money, right? And so I personally, and I thought it was worth the investment, and it was, but I personally was trying to follow every single step that the coach was telling me I had to take, even though, real talk, I knew more marketing than this coach. But it was because I had lost my truth. And her truth was about psychologically stirring up people so that they would buy in certain ways, the typical email funnel stuff. My truth was really anchored in giving and being authentic and genuine and not kind of using psychological tricks to get people to buy things. But I'd forgotten it. And so for me, meditating with this helped me get back to this idea of what is my internal truth? What resonates the most with me? So that's my personal story with Lapis. It's why I love it, besides it being gorgeous. It is blue if you're not seeing me live, and it has gorgeous flecks of gold. So that's something to think about. I pulled a card for us. I pulled it blind, but it turns out to also be a card related to the throat chakra. So we'll end on that today. And it says, I am committed to sharing and revealing my thoughts and feelings by being creative in my communication style and using expressive language. I express myself through talking, singing, sighing, laughing, and crying, and through using my creative talents. I consciously use my senses to experience my world more fully. I see, hear, smell, and feel more. And I become more aware of my surroundings, such as the weather, aromas, people, nature, sights, and sounds. I absolutely love this card. It is just a reminder for us to use everything, to feel, to be creative, and to voice what we care about, right? And to really think through our communication style. And I love that it is a throat chakra stone, which is this too. And so finding the truth in that creative expression, it's the journey I'm on now, and that you're part of with me by being here for our first ever podcast. I am so excited, thrilled, and feel blessed to have you all here, for my people on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook, on all the places. And I cannot wait till the next episode. So hopefully hearing about the stuck place, my personal stuck place, was helpful to you. Hopefully hearing the 7 S's was useful for you. If you start using the 7 S's in your life, please give me a comment. Let me know. Let me know. Use this as a starting place for your own simplified way of getting yourself going when you're having a moment. Definitely post, comment, like, do all the things. And I love y'all. I love y'all. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait to be here again. Thank you for all of the love in the post. Petite Princess, Sonique says, Gigi. I love y'all, and I cannot wait. Thank you for all the love on Instagram. We had so many people come through, and I appreciate y'all every single bit. Awesome. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.